आईवी लीग आपके मार्क्स से ज़्यादा आपकी कहानी सुनता है. Today, Stanford and MIT are often ranked higher than many Ivy League schools. Princeton maintains a student-faculty ratio of 5:1. Columbia University has been affiliated with over 100 Nobel laureates, one of the highest in the world. Your financial status is not considered during the admission process. If you are selected, they'll make sure money doesn't stop you from attending. हार्वर्ड के लिए पैसा कभी भी रुकावट नहीं है. अगर आप डिज़र्व करते हो तो वो इन्वेस्ट करते हैं आपके ड्रीम्स में. नाउ आईवी लीग एक कोर्स नहीं है, एक कल्चर है जो ज़िंदगी भर आपके साथ रहता है. सो अगर दुनिया में पॉलिसी बनाना है या टेक को रीडिफाइन करना है, आईवी लीग से बेटर लॉन्च पैड नहीं मिलेगा. अमेरिका के सबसे प्रेस्टिजियस यूनिवर्सिटीज़, दुनिया के सबसे पावरफुल एलुमनाई और एक ड्रीम जो हर एम्बिशियस स्टूडेंट देखता है, आईवी लीग. बट व्हाट रियली मेक्स आईवी लीग स्पेशल और एडमिशन के लिए कैसे तैयारी करें? लेट्स डिकोड इट टुडे. वेलकम टू स्विच अब्रॉड सीरीज़, जहां हम आपके ग्लोबल एजुकेशन ड्रीम का एक रोड मैप प्रेजेंट करते हैं. मैं हूं अकील खान और आज हम बात करेंगे उन यूनिवर्सिटीज़ की जो सिर्फ नाम से नहीं, काम से भी दुनिया में टॉप पर हैं, द आईवी लीग. पहले सेगमेंट में हम बात करेंगे व्हाट आर आईवी लीग यूनिवर्सिटीज़. सो आईवी लीग इज अ ग्रुप ऑफ 8 private universities in the US known for academic excellence, elite status and powerful alumni network. इंटरेस्टिंग बात यह है कि इनका नाम आईवी लीग पहले एक एथलेटिक कॉन्फ्रेंस की वजह से पड़ा, बट टुडे दीज आर द मोस्ट एलीट एकेडमिक इंस्टीट्यूशंस. 8 आईवी लीग यूनिवर्सिटीज़ आर हार्वर्ड, येल, प्रिंसटन, Columbia, then University of Pennsylvania, Brown, Dartmouth, and Cornell. So when I read about it, I wondered why Stanford and MIT are not part of the Ivy League. So the reason is not academic, it's historical and geographical. So as I mentioned earlier, Ivy League was formed as an athletic conference. It began as a group of 8 private colleges in the northeastern US that competed against each other in sports, especially football. It was officially formed in 1954 as an NCAA athletic conference. The school already had, in fact, all these schools, these 8 schools, already had a long-standing tradition of elite academic and intercollegiate athletics. So only 8 schools were part of this group from the beginning, and the term stuck. It was never expanded. Stanford तो इसलिए नहीं, because it is not in the northeastern part, it's in California, which is on the western coast. MIT is in Cambridge, which is in the northeast, but it did not belong to the group of 8 private colleges that founded the Ivy League, so it is out of the Ivy League. Now, MIT also focused more on science and engineering rather than the traditional liberal arts when the league was forming. So it had a different trajectory and identity from the Ivy League schools. So that's the reason why Stanford and MIT are not Ivy, though they are also elite. In fact, today Stanford and MIT are often ranked higher than many Ivy League schools. Interestingly, there is an informal group which is called Ivy Plus. And that includes Stanford, MIT, even University of Chicago. Duke is also part of it. Caltech is there. And of course, the 8 Ivies are there. So to summarize, we can say that Ivy League is a sports league, not a measure of academic quality. Stanford was not in the Northeast, and MIT was not part of the original athletic group. That's why these two are not there. Academically, they are equal to or above most Ivy League schools. Now coming to the next segment, That why are Ivy League schools so sought after? The first point is their world class faculty, which is what makes any institution world class. Now, Ivy League schools employ some of the most distinguished professors in the world, many of whom are pioneers in their field, lead major research projects, and regularly publish in top academic journals. Harvard alone has more than 2,400 faculty members. Just imagine the scale. Now, many of whom are global leaders in disciplines like law, medicine, economics, and public policy. I was also going through the Princeton facts and figures, and it says that Princeton maintains a student faculty ratio of 5 is to 1. That ensures highly personalized mentorship. The second reason is that Ivy League schools have a legacy of academic excellence. Now, this includes a high number of Nobel Prize winners, Fields medalists, MacArthur Fellows, and Pulitzer Prize winners among faculty and alumni both. Now, Columbia University has been affiliated with over 100 Nobel laureates, one of the highest in the world. Now, just imagine the kind of alumni and the faculty that we have in the Ivy League colleges. Harvard boasts affiliations with 161 Nobel laureates across disciplines. This comes from the source, which is the Harvard University Office of the President. The third reason why Ivy League is so popular is the alumni network, which includes presidents, CEOs, policy leaders, and global influencers. Now, this provides current students and graduates an unparalleled access to high-level opportunities and mentorship. An estimated over 300,000 active alumni from Harvard alone, many of whom occupy leadership roles globally. Now, Wharton, which is UPenn, University of Pennsylvania, that the alumni network is known for being one of the most influential in global business and finance. Then the fourth reason for the popularity of Ivy League is unparalleled reputation in academics, research, and leadership. Ivy Leagues dominate global rankings and are perceived as elite institutions because of rigorous academic cutting-edge research and strong leadership training. Their branding opens doors both in academia and industry. Now, in 2024 QS World Rankings, university rankings, 7 Ivy League universities are in the global top 20. US News and World Report consistently ranks Ivy League institutions among the top 10 universities in the US for decades. Now, the fifth reason, so no wonders, top companies prefer hiring from Ivy League. Major corporations, consulting firms like McKinsey, BCG, investment banks like Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, and tech giants like Google, Meta, they actively recruit from Ivy League campuses. A survey by Zippia in 2023 showed that Ivy League graduates have some of the highest average starting salaries in the US and for that matter anywhere in the world. Harvard, University of Pennsylvania, Wharton, and Columbia consistently appear in LinkedIn's top feeder schools for Fortune 500 executive roles. Now, in the next segment, we'll talk about the admission process, how to get in Ivy League. Now, the first and foremost is, of course, academic excellence. You need top grades in classes 9th to 12th. Consistency is needed in your performance, and then there are standardized tests. Some are optional post-COVID, like SAT or ACT, then TOEFL or IELTS for non-native language speakers, English language. Then extracurriculars also play a major role. Your leadership roles, community service, if you have some awards in Olympiads or sports, if you have done some impactful internships, and then your personal statement or the SOP should have heartfelt original stories. What drives you, your vision, even your failure stories. Then your letters of recommendations are also crucial. The teachers who know you well, and the letters must be insightful and personal. And then for a few universities, there are interviews. Interviews are generally conversational but revealing. So you need to be authentic and self-aware. Because Ivy League आपके मार्क्स से ज़्यादा आपकी कहानी सुनता है. Now coming to the most popular courses across different Ivy League universities. So for economics and business, Harvard and also University of Pennsylvania. For political science and international relations, Yale and Columbia have a slight edge. Then for computer science and engineering, Cornell and Princeton are, say, a bit ahead. And psychology and neuroscience, Brown and Dartmouth. For law, pre-law tracks, and I guess Harvard and even Columbia. Public policy and governance, Princeton and Harvard Kennedy School is, of course, one of the most renowned and prestigious. So अगर दुनिया में पॉलिसी बनाना है या टेक को रिडिफाइन करना है, आईवी लीग से बेटर लॉन्च पैड नहीं मिलेगा. Now coming to the next segment, which is regarding scholarships and financial aid at Ivy League universities. So Ivy League do not offer merit scholarships, but they are need blind for international students at most schools like Harvard, Yale, Princeton. Now, what does no merit scholarship mean? So Ivy League students don't give scholarships based on academic, athletic, or artistic performance. It doesn't matter if you are a topper, Olympiad winner, or national athlete, you won't get a merit scholarship. Their philosophy is that all admitted students already meet the highest level of merit. So scholarships are based on financial needs only. Now, what does need blind admission mean? Your financial status is not considered during the admission process. The university first decides whether to admit you solely on the basis of your profile, which is the grades, essays, recommendation, etc. Only after you are admitted, they look at your financial documents to decide how much aid to give. Universities that are need blind and meet full financial need for international students include Harvard, Yale, Princeton, even MIT, which is not an Ivy, but it follows the same policy. This means if you are selected, they'll make sure money doesn't stop you from attending. Now, what kind of financial aid do they offer? 100% need-based aid. Aid is calculated by evaluating your family's income, assets, expenses, etc. It may cover tuition, accommodation, living expenses, travel costs also in some cases. So to summarize, no merit-based scholarships are provided by Ivy Leagues, but there is a big yes to need-based aid. Some Ivy Leagues are need blind for international students, and this aid can go up to 100% of the cost. So Ivy Leagues don't reward merit with money, they reward potential with opportunities. So if you deserve a seat, they'll make sure you can afford to sit in it. हार्वर्ड के लिए पैसा कभी भी रुकावट नहीं है. अगर आप डिजर्व करते हो तो वो इन्वेस्ट करते हैं आपके ड्रीम्स में. Now the next segment is on life after Ivy League. What next? So of course there are top jobs for Ivy League students in consulting, tech, research, academia, depending upon what field you are from. Then a very important aspect that I feel is your access to alumni network that includes CEOs, presidents, Nobel laureates. Then a few others start billion-dollar companies or join global organizations like the UN or the World Bank. Now, Ivy League एक कोर्स नहीं है, एक कल्चर है जो जिंदगी भर आपके साथ रहता है. Now, in the last segment, I'll give some final tips for Indian students. First thing is start early. Grade 9 is a good time. Focus on building overall profile, not just marks. Because as I mentioned earlier, जो आपका social work है, or your internships, or even your participation in different competitions, all this play a very important role. So you must focus on your overall profile, not just your marks. And then you must learn to tell your story with honesty. ये रेस स्पीड की नहीं, डेप्थ की है. अपने आप को समझो और दुनिया को समझा दो. Ivy League is not just a dream, it's a possibility even for students from small towns in India if the vision is strong and the effort is consistent. अगर आपका भी सपना है किसी आईवी लीग यूनिवर्सिटी का तो ये एपिसोड आपके लिए रोड मैप है. लाइक, शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब ज़रूर करें बिकॉज स्विच टॉक में वी डोंट जस्ट टॉक करियर्स, वी build futures.